Imagine this, it's 7:30 a.m. on a Monday morning in downtown Manhattan. Sarah, a marketing executive, sits in her cramped studio apartment, scrolling through Instagram while her coffee grows cold. Each perfectly curated post feels like a personal attack on her own messy reality. Her phone buzzes with work emails, her landlord's demanding rent increase, and her mother's passive-aggressive texts about why she hasn't called. The weight of caring about everything, every opinion, every setback, every digital notification feels suffocating. Sound familiar? Welcome to the paradox of modern American life, where we're more connected than ever yet drowning in anxiety about things completely beyond our control. We've become prisoners of our own hypersensitivity, caring deeply about shallow metrics while losing sight of what truly matters. But here's where ancient wisdom meets contemporary chaos. Long before smartphones and social media existed, a group of brilliant philosophers in ancient Greece and Rome developed a revolutionary approach to life's inevitable challenges. These Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, discovered something profound. The secret to inner peace isn't found in controlling external circumstances, but in mastering our responses to them. As Epictetus wisely taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This isn't about becoming emotionally numb or indifferent to life's beauty. Rather, it's about developing the sophisticated emotional intelligence to distinguish between what deserves our energy and what doesn't. Consider Marcus, a software developer in Seattle who used to refresh his LinkedIn profile obsessively, measuring his worth by likes and comments. Or Jennifer, a teacher in Chicago who lost sleep over every parent's criticism. These modern Americans discovered what ancient Stoics knew. We suffer more from our interpretations of events than from the events themselves. The 10 principles you're about to explore aren't theoretical philosophy, they're practical tools forged in the real world by people who face genuine hardships. Marcus Aurelius wrote his famous Meditations while leading military campaigns. Epictetus developed his teachings after experiencing slavery. Seneca navigated the treacherous politics of imperial Rome. Their wisdom emerged from struggle, not ivory towers. Today's challenges may involve different technology, but human nature remains constant. Whether you're dealing with toxic colleagues in Los Angeles, family drama in Miami, or financial pressure in Denver, these Stoic principles offer a roadmap to emotional freedom. As Seneca observed, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. How much of your stress comes from scenarios that exist only in your mind? How often do you replay conversations, predict disasters, or worry about others' opinions of choices that are perfectly reasonable? This isn't about adopting a don't care attitude, it's about caring intelligently. It's learning to invest your emotional energy where it can create positive change while releasing your grip on outcomes beyond your influence. Over the next several minutes, you'll discover how to build an unshakable inner fortress that no external circumstance can breach. You'll learn to find peace in chaos, strength in adversity, and joy in simplicity. Most importantly, you'll master the liberating art of letting go. So if you're tired of feeling overwhelmed by modern life's relentless demands, if you're ready to stop being a victim of circumstances and start being the architect of your inner peace, then welcome to your Stoic transformation. Let's begin this journey from ancient Athens to contemporary America, where timeless wisdom meets today's challenges. 1. The discipline of control. Master your inner domain. It's a rainy Tuesday morning in Brooklyn, and Michael is running late for his crucial client presentation. As he rushes to prepare his perfect cup of coffee, the one ritual that centers him before big meetings, his cat, Whiskers, decides this is the perfect moment for attention. One graceful leap onto the counter, and suddenly Michael's morning fuel is spreading across his kitchen floor, soaking into important documents he'd left nearby. the old Michael would have erupted. He'd have cursed Whiskers, blamed the universe for conspiring against him, and arrived at his meeting frazzled and defeated. But Michael has been studying Stoic philosophy, and he remembers Seneca's profound insight. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. This moment perfectly illustrates the foundational Stoic principle that separates those who thrive from those who merely survive: the discipline of control. As Epictetus taught his students, some things are within our power, while others are not. This isn't just philosophical theory. It's the most practical wisdom you'll ever encounter. What was within Michael's control? Not his cat's behavior, not the rain, not the traffic he'd face, but absolutely within his control, his response to these circumstances. Instead of letting his imagination paint a catastrophic narrative about his ruined day, he chose to laugh, clean up the mess, and brew another cup. The presentation went brilliantly. His calm energy impressed the client more than any perfectly prepared coffee could have. Marcus Aurelius, writing in his personal journal that became the Meditations, reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The Roman emperor understood this principle while managing an empire and leading military campaigns. If he could apply this wisdom while facing barbarian invasions, surely we can apply it to our modern challenges. Consider Sarah, a nurse in Chicago's busiest hospital. During the pandemic, she faced impossible situations daily: understaffing, equipment shortages, and heartbreaking patient losses. She couldn't control hospital policies, virus mutations, or her patients' outcomes. But she could control her compassion, her professionalism, and her decision to focus on helping rather than lamenting. The Stoics identified 3 disciplines of practice, and this discipline of control forms the foundation. It's about recognizing the difference between what Epictetus called up to us versus not up to us. Your thoughts, values, judgments, and actions, these are your domain. Other people's opinions, natural disasters, economic fluctuations, and your boss's mood swings, these belong to the external world. This principle transforms how we handle modern technology's invasive nature. When your Wi-Fi crashes during that crucial Zoom call with colleagues in San Francisco, you can't control the technology failure, but you can control your response. Do you let frustration poison the rest of your day? Or do you calmly switch to your phone's hotspot and continue professionally? Seneca offers another powerful perspective. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. That cold pizza delivery on Friday night isn't a personal affront from the universe. It's simply what happened. You can choose to let it ruin your evening or recognize that your interpretation of the event, not the event itself, determines your experience. The discipline of control requires daily practice. Start by catching yourself when you feel upset about external circumstances. Ask, is this within my control? If not, redirect that energy towards something that is. A traffic jam in Los Angeles becomes an opportunity for mindfulness or learning through podcasts. A colleague's criticism in Denver becomes data to consider, not a personal attack to defend against. This practice builds what Stoics call the inner citadel, an unassailable fortress of peace that external circumstances cannot breach. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, confine yourself to the present, not because the future doesn't matter, but because this present moment is where your power actually exists. The most liberating realization, Most of what we worry about falls into the not up to us category. Your reputation, others' opinions, market fluctuations, weather patterns, and even your own health in many ways, these exist beyond your direct control. But your character, your effort, your kindness, and your responses, these remain forever within your domain. Practice this discipline daily. When stuck in Seattle traffic, instead of fuming about city planning, use the time for reflection or gratitude. When your Atlanta flight gets delayed, rather than raging at airline policies, catch up on reading or connect with fellow travelers. When social media algorithms show you content designed to trigger outrage, remember that your attention is precious currency. Spend it wisely. The discipline of control isn't about becoming passive or accepting injustice. It's about channeling your energy efficiently toward change you can actually create. As the Serenity Prayer, deeply influenced by Stoic thought, reminds us, focus on changing what you can, accepting what you cannot, and developing the wisdom to know the difference. Master this first discipline, and you've laid the foundation for unshakable inner peace in our chaotic modern world. 2. The practice of presence. Reclaim this sacred moment. Jessica sits in a trendy coffee shop in Austin, surrounded by the gentle hum of conversation and the rich aroma of freshly ground beans. Her laptop is open, displaying an important project due tomorrow, but her mind is everywhere except here. She's replaying yesterday's awkward conversation with her supervisor, worrying about next month's rent payment, and simultaneously scrolling through LinkedIn, comparing her career progress to former classmates who seem to be thriving effortlessly. This scene plays out millions of times daily across America, physically present but mentally scattered across past regrets and future anxieties. We've become experts at being everywhere except the one place where life actually happens, right now. Marcus Aurelius, perhaps history's most powerful man, understood this challenge intimately. While governing the Roman Empire, he wrote, "Do not let the future disturb you, for you will arrive there, if you must, with the same reason which now you use for present things." The emperor recognized that our present moment awareness is the foundation of all wisdom and effectiveness. The practice of presence isn't about empty-minded meditation or forcing artificial calm. It's about recognizing that this moment, right now, is the only time when you can actually live, love, learn, or create change. Everything else exists only in memory or imagination. Consider David, a financial advisor in Manhattan who used to eat lunch at his desk while simultaneously checking emails, monitoring market fluctuations, and planning afternoon meetings. His food became mere fuel consumed unconsciously, his stress levels skyrocketed, and his relationships suffered. After discovering Stoic principles, he began practicing what Marcus Aurelius called the discipline of desire, learning to want what the present moment offers rather than constantly craving what it lacks. Now David takes 15 minutes for mindful lunch breaks. He tastes his food, observes people walking past his office window, and allows his mind to rest from constant planning. This simple practice transformed not just his stress levels, but his creative problem-solving abilities. As Seneca noted, the mind that is anxious about future misfortunes is miserable. The Stoics understood that presence isn't passive, it's the most active state possible. When you're truly present, you can respond to life with wisdom rather than react from anxiety. You notice opportunities that scattered attention misses. You connect authentically with others instead of offering distracted half-presence. Take Maria, a teacher in Phoenix who struggled with classroom management. She'd enter each class already mentally rehearsing potential problems, replaying previous day's challenges, and worrying about standardized test scores. Her students sensed her mental absence and responded with increased disruption. When Maria learned to arrive fully present, focusing on her students' immediate needs rather than abstract worries, her classroom transformed. Present moment awareness allowed her to notice subtle cues, respond with appropriate timing, and create the calm authority that effective teaching requires. Marcus Aurelius offers practical guidance. Confine yourself to the present. This doesn't mean ignoring planning or learning from experience. Rather, it means recognizing that planning happens now, learning happens now, and all meaningful action happens now. The past exists only as memory available in this moment. The future exists only as possibility we can influence through present choices. Modern technology makes presence particularly challenging. Our phones deliver an endless stream of notifications designed to fragment attention. Social media platforms profit from keeping us mentally elsewhere, comparing our real lives to others' curated highlights. The Stoic response isn't to reject technology, but to use it consciously rather than compulsively. James, a software developer in Seattle, implemented what he calls Stoic phone practices. He checks messages at designated times rather than responding to every notification immediately. During conversations, his phone stays face down and silent. While walking through Pike Place Market, he experiences the sights, sounds, and energy rather than documenting everything for social media. This isn't digital asceticism, it's intentional living. Seneca provides another crucial insight. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. Notice he says enjoy the present, not endure it. Presence includes appreciating life's simple pleasures, the warmth of morning coffee, a friend's laughter, the satisfaction of completing meaningful work. The practice develops gradually. Start with single tasking. When eating, just eat. When listening, just listen. When walking, just walk. Notice when your mind drifts to past or future, then gently return attention to immediate experience without self-judgment. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, at dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. Presence also means accepting present moment challenges without the additional suffering of wishing they were different. When stuck in Denver traffic, instead of mentally fighting the situation, you can use the time for reflection, gratitude, or simply observing the world around you. The traffic remains the same, but your experience transforms completely. The Stoics recognized presence as both spiritual practice and practical skill. It enhances performance, deepens relationships, and provides access to wisdom that anxiety obscures. In our hyper-connected age, the ability to be fully where you are becomes a superpower, or rare, valuable, and transformative. 3. The wisdom of impermanence. Flow with life's natural rhythm. In the heart of San Francisco, Emily stands on the Golden Gate Bridge, gazing at the fog rolling in from the bay. As the iconic structure looms overhead, she contemplates her recent job loss and the uncertainty that accompanies it. Just last month, she felt secure in her role at a tech startup. Now, she finds herself grappling with change, battling feelings of anxiety and loss. Yet, as she watches the ever-changing landscape around her, Emily is reminded of a profound Stoic truth: impermanence is the essence of life. Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight, wrote Marcus Aurelius. This sentiment captures the cyclical nature of existence, teaching us that every ending is also a beginning. The Stoics understood that life is a series of transformations, each one an opportunity for growth and renewal. Just as the seasons change, the frost of winter gives way to the blooms of spring, so too do our circumstances evolve. Consider the example of James, a landscape architect in Denver. After years of hard work, he finally secured a substantial project. However, due to unforeseen circumstances, the project was abruptly canceled. Initially, he felt devastated, questioning his abilities and future prospects. But through the lens of Stoicism, he reframed his situation. Inspired by Epictetus's teaching, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters," James began to see the setback as a chance to innovate. He redirected his efforts toward personal projects, ultimately leading to a new, fulfilling career path. The Stoics teach us to embrace change rather than resist it, recognizing that each twist and turn adds depth to our life's narrative. When we accept that change is an inherent part of life, we cultivate resilience and adaptability. This perspective is especially relevant in today's fast-paced world, where job markets, relationships, and technology are in constant flux. Take Sarah, a marketing manager in New York City who faced a sudden breakup. Initially, the pain felt insurmountable. Her mind swirled with questions of what if and why me. However, by applying the Stoic principle of acceptance, Sarah learned to view the end of her relationship as a necessary step toward personal growth. She began to explore new interests, reconnect with old friends, and invest time in self-care. As Marcus Aurelius advised, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Rather than being hindered by her breakup, she found a path to greater self-awareness and fulfillment. The wisdom of impermanence also extends to the natural cycles of life. Just as a tree sheds its leaves each autumn to prepare for the new growth of spring, we too must let go of what no longer serves us. The Stoics believed that attachment to things, people, or outcomes can lead to suffering. By practicing detachment, we free ourselves from the burdens of expectation and disappointment. Imagine Mike, a successful entrepreneur in Los Angeles who faced a downturn in his business. Rather than clinging to the past success he once enjoyed, he embraced the changes in the market. Mike shifted his focus from merely surviving to thriving in a new landscape. He sought collaboration, explored innovative ideas, and ultimately emerged with a more sustainable business model. His ability to adapt and accept the situation allowed him to transform what initially felt like a loss into an opportunity for growth. The Stoic perspective encourages us to view loss not as a tragedy, but as an integral part of the human experience. As Seneca wisely stated, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. This understanding invites us to reflect on our own lives and identify the areas where we may be clinging to the past or resisting change. Practicing mindfulness in the face of impermanence can help cultivate a deeper appreciation for each moment. When we recognize that everything is transient, we become more present and engaged in our experiences. This awareness allows us to savor the beauty of life, whether it's the laughter of a friend, the taste of a delicious meal, or the warmth of the sun on our skin. In our modern, fast-paced lives, it can be easy to overlook the lessons that impermanence offers. However, by embracing change and letting go, we open ourselves to new possibilities and experiences. We learn to view life as a continuous journey rather than a series of fixed destinations. The wisdom of impermanence teaches us to flow with life, to dance with its rhythms instead of resisting them. Just like the changing tides or the shifting seasons, we can learn to navigate the ups and downs of life with grace and resilience. By accepting that change is inevitable, we find peace amidst the chaos. As you reflect on your own life, consider the areas where you may be holding on too tightly. Are there relationships, ambitions, or fears that no longer serve you? Embrace the wisdom of the Stoics and allow yourself to let go. In doing so, you will discover a profound sense of freedom and the ability to navigate life's uncertainties with courage and grace. 4. The freedom from opinion. Find worth within your character. In today's hyper-connected world, the pressure to seek validation from others is ever-present. As Amanda scrolls through her Instagram feed in her San Diego apartment, she can't help but compare her life to the glamorous highlights of her friends. Each post, a perfect vacation, a new car, a growing following, feeds her insecurities and fosters a sense of inadequacy. The need for external validation can feel overwhelming, but the Stoics offer a liberating alternative, the freedom from opinion. Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, famously stated, "Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems." This wisdom reminds us that the true source of our distress often lies not in reality but in our perceptions and the weight we place on others' opinions. The Stoics believed that our self-worth should not be contingent upon external approval but grounded in our character and values. Consider Michael, a recent college graduate in Chicago. He landed a job at a prestigious firm but found himself constantly anxious about how he was perceived by his colleagues. He felt pressure to conform to their opinions and expectations, often sacrificing his authenticity in the process. The more he sought validation through networking events and social media, the more detached he became from his true self. One day, Michael stumbled upon a quote from Marcus Aurelius, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This realization sparked a transformation. Instead of chasing external validation, Michael began focusing on his core values, integrity, hard work, and kindness. He committed to being authentic in his interactions, which ultimately attracted genuine relationships and earned him respect for who he truly was, rather than for who he thought others wanted him to be. The Stoics teach us that by cultivating self-acceptance, we can liberate ourselves from the tyranny of others' opinions. When we recognize that our worth is intrinsic and not dictated by likes, shares, or social status, we free ourselves from the anxiety that comes with seeking approval. Sarah, a freelance writer in New York City, experienced a similar struggle. After publishing an article that received mixed reviews, she felt crushed by the negative feedback. Initially, she contemplated quitting writing altogether. However, she soon recalled Seneca's wisdom, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." Sarah realized that her true value as a writer came not from external praise but from her passion for storytelling and her commitment to her craft. Instead of fixating on others' opinions, Sarah decided to create a personal blog where she could express herself freely without the fear of judgment. This decision reignited her love for writing and allowed her to find fulfillment in her work, independent of outside validation. Her blog gained traction over time, attracting an audience drawn to her authentic voice and unique perspective. The freedom from opinion is not about disregarding feedback. Rather, it's about discerning what is constructive and what is merely noise. The Stoics encouraged us to seek wisdom and guidance from trusted sources, but they also emphasized the importance of internalizing our values and affirming our self-worth. As Marcus Aurelius advises, "Be yourself. The world has no need of the kind of man you are trying to be." In practical terms, cultivating this freedom requires conscious effort. Start by identifying your core values. What truly matters to you? Is it integrity, creativity, kindness, or something else? Once you clarify your values, use them as a compass for your actions and decisions. When faced with criticism or praise, reflect on whether it aligns with your values. If it doesn't, let it go. Consider implementing a daily reflection practice. Each evening, take a few minutes to review your day. Ask yourself, did I act in alignment with my values? How did I respond to others' opinions? What can I learn from both positive and negative feedback without letting it define me? By making this practice a habit, you train your mind to focus on what truly matters, building resilience against external pressures. The journey to freedom from opinion is ongoing. It requires self-compassion and patience as we navigate our relationships and societal expectations. However, as we cultivate this inner strength, we become less swayed by the opinions of others and more grounded in our own truth. Ultimately, the Stoic perspective empowers us to live with authenticity and purpose. By finding worth within our character, we reclaim our power and create a life guided by our values rather than the fleeting opinions of those around us. As you reflect on your own life, consider the ways you might be seeking validation from external sources. Challenge yourself to focus on your intrinsic worth and the values that truly define you. In doing so, you will find the freedom to live authentically and joyfully, unburdened by the weight of others' expectations. 5. The dance of seasons honor life's eternal cycles. As the sun sets over the vibrant skyline of Los Angeles, Rachel reflects on the past year. She had experienced the exhilaration of starting her own fashion line, only to face the crushing disappointment of a failed launch. The pressure of the fashion industry, combined with personal challenges, left her feeling defeated and questioning her worth. Yet, as she watches the colors of the sunset blend into one another, she is reminded of the Stoic principle that life, much like the changing seasons, is a series of cycles, each with its own purpose and beauty. Marcus Aurelius once remarked, "Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight." This powerful assertion encapsulates the Stoic view of life as a continuous ebb and flow, inviting us to embrace the inevitability of change rather than resist it. Just as trees shed their leaves in autumn to prepare for new growth in spring, we too must learn to let go of what no longer serves us in order to make space for new opportunities and experiences. Consider the story of Daniel, a software engineer in San Francisco. After years of working at a successful startup, he was abruptly laid off when the company faced financial difficulties. Initially, he was devastated, feeling as if his entire identity had crumbled. However, he soon remembered the Stoic wisdom that everything is temporary. Instead of clinging to his past job, he chose to view this change as an opportunity for reinvention. Daniel used the time to explore new skills, take online courses, and eventually transitioned into a more fulfilling role in a different industry. The loss of his job became a catalyst for personal growth and transformation. The Stoics teach us that change is not inherently negative. Rather, it is a natural part of life's rhythm. When we resist change, we often find ourselves in a state of suffering. As Epictetus wisely articulated, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This perspective allows us to approach life's inevitable transitions with grace, understanding that each ending opens the door to new beginnings. Take a moment to reflect on your own life. Are there areas where you are holding on too tightly, resisting the natural flow of change? Perhaps it's a relationship that no longer serves you, a job that stifles your creativity, or an outdated belief that limits your potential. By recognizing these areas and allowing yourself to let go, you create space for new experiences and growth. The concept of impermanence also extends to our relationships. Just as friendships may evolve or fade over time, new connections can blossom when we allow ourselves to be open to change. Emily, a college student in Boston, learned this lesson when she realized that some of her closest friends were drifting apart as they pursued different paths. Initially, she felt a sense of loss, but as she embraced the natural cycle of friendships, she became more receptive to meeting new people and forming meaningful connections. This openness enriched her life and taught her that every season of friendship has its purpose. In the realm of personal development, the Stoics encourage us to view challenges as opportunities for growth. The struggles we face are not meant to break us. Rather, they are the crucible through which we are forged. As Seneca wisely stated, Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. Each obstacle we encounter is a chance to build resilience, refine our character, and emerge stronger than before. Imagine a flower blooming in the spring after enduring the harshness of winter. The beauty of its petals is a testament to the struggles it has overcome. Similarly, when we embrace the cycles of life, we cultivate the strength to navigate adversity with grace and purpose. As you contemplate the seasons of your own life, consider how you can honor the natural cycles of change. Embrace the concept of amor fati, or love of fate, which encourages us to accept and even cherish the course of our lives, including the challenges we face. By doing so, we cultivate a profound sense of peace and acceptance. The Stoics also remind us that life's beauty often lies in its transience. Just as we savor a sunset knowing it will fade, we can appreciate the fleeting moments in our lives. Joys, sorrows, successes, and failures alike. Each moment is a brushstroke in the grand tapestry of our existence. As you navigate your own journey, remember that change is not to be feared but celebrated. Each season brings its own lessons, and every ending paves the way for new beginnings. By honoring life's cycles and embracing impermanence, you open yourself to growth, resilience, and a deeper appreciation for the beauty of life. In conclusion, the Stoic perspective invites us to dance with the rhythms of change, understanding that loss and transformation are integral parts of our journey. Embracing this wisdom allows us to live more fully, to let go of what no longer serves us, and to welcome the new with open arms. 6. The forge of character, transform obstacles into strength. Imagine sitting in a bustling cafe in Atlanta where the air is filled with the rich aroma of coffee and the sound of lively conversations. Among the patrons is Lisa, a project manager who has recently faced a series of professional setbacks. After pouring her heart into a high-stakes project that ultimately fell through, she is left grappling with feelings of disappointment and frustration. Yet, as she takes a moment to sip her coffee, she recalls the words of Seneca, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." This insight inspires her to view her challenges not as barriers but as opportunities for growth. In the Stoic tradition, obstacles are not simply things to be avoided or lamented, they are the very forge in which our character is shaped. The Stoics believe that adversity is a necessary component of a meaningful life as it provides the trials that test our resolve and fortitude. When we face difficulties with the right mindset, we can emerge stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Consider the story of Ben, a young entrepreneur in New York City. After launching his startup, he faced numerous challenges, including funding issues, fierce competition, and burnout. Many of his peers advised him to pivot or abandon his dream. However, guided by Stoic principles, Ben chose to embrace the obstacles as learning experiences. Instead of viewing each setback as a personal failure, he approached them as opportunities to adapt and innovate. Ben often recalled the wisdom of Epictetus, who taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Each time he encountered a roadblock, he asked himself, "What can I learn from this?" This perspective allowed him to pivot his business model, seek mentorship, and ultimately succeed in ways he had never imagined. His journey exemplifies how adversity can be a crucible for character development. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius also emphasized the importance of overcoming hardships. In his Meditations, he wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This profound insight highlights the idea that obstacles can serve as catalysts for growth. When we encounter challenges, we have a choice. We can allow them to defeat us, or we can use them to propel ourselves forward. Take the example of Mia, a teacher in Philadelphia who faced significant challenges during the pandemic. With remote learning becoming the norm, she struggled to engage her students and provide the support they needed. Instead of succumbing to frustration, Mia embraced the opportunity to innovate her teaching methods. She explored new technologies, developed creative lesson plans, and reached out to her students' families for support. As a result, not only did her students flourish academically, but Mia also found renewed passion for her profession. Her obstacles became the very foundation for her growth as an educator. The Stoics encourage us to reframe our perspective on adversity. Instead of seeing challenges as burdens, we can view them as essential components of our journey. This mindset shift allows us to cultivate resilience and fortitude. When we encounter difficulties, we can ask ourselves, what is this teaching me? Or how can I use this experience to grow? In practical terms, cultivating this mindset requires intentional practice. Start by identifying a current challenge in your life. Reflect on how you can approach this situation from a Stoic perspective. Ask yourself, what lessons can I learn from this experience? How can I use this obstacle to build my character? What actions can I take to turn this challenge into an opportunity? By actively engaging with your challenges, you can transform them into stepping stones toward personal growth. The more you practice this mindset, the more resilient you will become. The Stoics also remind us that our character is built in the face of adversity. As we navigate life's challenges, we develop qualities such as courage, patience, and perseverance. Each time we confront a difficulty with grace and determination, we strengthen our character and become better equipped to face future challenges. As you reflect on your own life, consider the obstacles you have encountered and how they have shaped you. What strengths have you developed as a result? How have these experiences contributed to your personal growth? Embrace the idea that your challenges are not merely obstacles, they are the forge in which your character is being shaped. In conclusion, the Stoic perspective teaches us that obstacles are not to be feared but embraced. By viewing difficulties as opportunities for growth, we cultivate resilience and build a strong character. As you navigate your life's journey, remember that each challenge you face is a chance to develop the qualities that will serve you well in the future. Embrace the forge of character and let your obstacles become the stepping stones to your success. 7. The treasury of the soul. Discover true wealth within. In the heart of Miami, surrounded by the vibrant colors of the Art Deco district, Olivia sips her café con leche while strolling along the beach. As she watches the waves lap against the shore, she reflects on her pursuit of happiness. For years, she believed that acquiring the latest designer handbags, driving an expensive car, and throwing lavish parties would bring her joy. However, as her material possessions grew, so did her emptiness. It wasn't until she discovered Stoic philosophy that she learned the true meaning of wealth. Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." This profound statement encapsulates the essence of the Stoic understanding of wealth. True richness is not found in external possessions but in the contentment of the soul. The Stoics teach us that material goods are merely preferred indifference. They can enhance life but should never define our self-worth or happiness. Consider the story of Jake, a tech entrepreneur in San Francisco. After selling his startup for millions, he expected to feel fulfilled. Instead, he found himself restless and unfulfilled, constantly chasing the next big thing. Despite his financial success, Jake felt an emptiness that no amount of money could fill. It was during a particularly introspective weekend retreat that he stumbled upon the writings of Marcus Aurelius, who emphasized the importance of inner virtue over external wealth. Inspired, Jake began to shift his focus from accumulating wealth to cultivating personal growth and meaningful relationships. By embracing the Stoic principle that true wealth lies within, Jake started volunteering at local schools, mentoring young entrepreneurs, and investing time in his personal development. He discovered that the joy of giving and sharing his knowledge brought him more satisfaction than any luxury item ever could. In recognizing the wealth of experiences and relationships, he found a deeper sense of purpose and happiness. The Stoics emphasize that our true treasures are our virtues, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These qualities form the foundation of a meaningful life and allow us to navigate the challenges of existence with grace. When we cultivate our inner virtues, we create a wealth that no external circumstances can diminish. Take Maria, a nurse in Chicago who regularly faces the emotional toll of caring for patients in critical conditions. Initially, she felt drained and overwhelmed by the demands of her job. However, after discovering Stoic teachings, she began to approach her work with a different mindset. Instead of focusing on the stressors, Maria started to cultivate gratitude for the opportunity to help others. Each day, she reflected on her interactions with patients, finding joy in small victories like a smile from a recovering patient or a heartfelt thank you from a family member. By recognizing the impact of her work and the virtue of compassion, Maria discovered a profound sense of fulfillment that transcended material concerns. The Stoic perspective encourages us to practice gratitude regularly. By acknowledging what we have rather than fixating on what we lack, we cultivate a sense of abundance. This practice can be as simple as keeping a gratitude journal where you jot down 3 things you're thankful for each day. Over time, this habit shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance, enriching your inner treasury. Moreover, the Stoics remind us that the pursuit of material wealth often leads to dissatisfaction. The constant craving for more can trap us in a cycle of desire and disappointment. As Epictetus wisely noted, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. When we learn to appreciate what we have, we unlock the door to true contentment. In a society that often equates worth with wealth, it takes courage to redefine our understanding of success. The Stoics invite us to embrace a different narrative, one that prioritizes character over possessions and relationships over status. This shift allows us to live authentically and fosters deeper connections with others. As you reflect on your own life, consider how you define wealth. Are you caught in the cycle of striving for more, or are you cultivating the treasures within? Challenge yourself to prioritize your inner virtues and the relationships that bring you joy. By doing so, you'll discover that true wealth lies not in what you own, but in who you are and how you impact the world around you. In conclusion, the Stoic philosophy teaches us that the essence of wealth is not found in material possessions, but in the richness of our character and experiences. By cultivating virtues and practicing gratitude, we can unlock a treasure trove of fulfillment that no external circumstance can take away. Embrace the treasury of your soul and let it guide you toward a life of genuine happiness and purpose. 8. The acceptance of fate. Partner with the universe's design. In the bustling streets of New York City, where dreams are woven into the fabric of everyday life, Ava finds herself at a crossroads. After years of relentless hard work, she was passed over for a promotion that she had set her heart on. The news hit her hard, leaving her feeling deflated and questioning her worth. However, as she walks through Central Park, she recalls the Stoic idea of amor fati, or the love of fate, the practice of embracing everything that happens in life, good or bad, as necessary and valuable. Epictetus taught, "Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do." This profound perspective can be challenging to adopt, especially when faced with unexpected setbacks. However, the Stoics believed that acceptance is the gateway to inner peace and resilience. When we learn to accept the circumstances we cannot change, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. Consider the example of Tom, a chef in a renowned restaurant in Chicago. After years of dedication and passion, he faced an unexpected closure due to the pandemic. Initially, he felt devastated, as if his dreams had crumbled overnight. But instead of succumbing to despair, Tom chose to embrace the situation as an opportunity for growth. He pivoted from restaurant work to creating an online cooking platform, sharing his culinary skills with a broader audience. By accepting his new reality, Tom not only found a new path but also discovered a deeper sense of purpose. The Stoics emphasize that our power lies not in controlling external events but in how we respond to them. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This wisdom encourages us to shift our focus from the uncontrollable to our internal responses. When we accept what is, we open ourselves to new possibilities and avenues for growth. Ava, feeling inspired by the Stoic philosophy, begins to reflect on her situation. Rather than dwelling on the promotion she didn't receive, she decides to focus on what she can control: her skills, her work ethic, and her attitude. She enrolls in leadership development courses, seeks mentorship, and actively engages in projects that enhance her professional growth. By embracing her current circumstances, she transforms her disappointment into an opportunity for self-improvement and resilience. The acceptance of fate also involves recognizing that life is inherently unpredictable. Just as the seasons change, so too do our circumstances. The Stoics understood that resistance to change often leads to suffering. By accepting the ebb and flow of life, we cultivate a sense of peace and adaptability. As Seneca wisely stated, a good character, when it meets with misfortune, is like a tree that stands firm in a storm. Imagine Mia, a marketing director in Los Angeles who faced a sudden downturn in her industry. Instead of fighting against the changes and clinging to her previous successes, Mia embraced the need to adapt. She began exploring new strategies, focusing on digital marketing trends, and collaborating with her team to innovate. This acceptance of her new reality allowed her to thrive in a challenging environment, ultimately leading her company to new heights. The Stoics often spoke of fate as a partner in our journey. When we learn to accept our circumstances, we form a partnership with life itself. This partnership involves recognizing that while we cannot control everything, we can control our mindset and choices. When we meet challenges with acceptance and resilience, we align ourselves with the natural flow of life. As you navigate your own challenges, consider how you can practice acceptance. Reflect on situations where you may be resisting change or clinging to expectations. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? How can I adapt my approach to embrace the new reality? What opportunities might arise from accepting this situation? By cultivating the mindset of acceptance, you empower yourself to navigate life's uncertainties with grace and confidence. The Stoics remind us that every challenge carries the potential for growth and transformation. When we embrace fate, we unlock the door to resilience and inner peace. In conclusion, the Stoic philosophy teaches us that acceptance of fate is not a passive resignation but an active partnership with life. By embracing our circumstances and focusing on our responses, we can navigate challenges with strength and grace. As you reflect on your own journey, remember that acceptance opens the door to new possibilities and empowers you to thrive in an ever-changing world. 9. The circle of service. Extend your virtue outward. As the sun rises over the vibrant city of Philadelphia, Emily prepares for her day at the local community center. Every Saturday, she volunteers to teach art classes to children from underserved neighborhoods. For Emily, this experience is not just about giving back. It's a profound expression of Stoic philosophy in action. The Stoics believed that we are all interconnected, and our virtues are most fully realized when we extend them outward to serve others. Seneca articulated this beautifully when he said, "We are all bound together in a partnership." This notion emphasizes that our individual well-being is inherently linked to the well-being of our community. By actively engaging in service, we not only uplift others, but also enrich our own lives and cultivate a deeper sense of purpose. Consider the story of Jacob, a software developer in San Francisco. Initially focused solely on advancing his career, Jacob often felt a nagging emptiness despite his professional success. One day, he stumbled upon a local nonprofit that provided coding classes for underprivileged youth. Intrigued, he decided to volunteer his time. As he taught the kids how to code, Jacob discovered a newfound joy and fulfillment. The smiles on their faces and their eagerness to learn brought him a sense of connection and purpose he had been missing. The Stoics understood that service to others cultivates virtues such as empathy, compassion, and humility. When we step outside of ourselves and engage with the needs of others, we develop a broader perspective on life. This shift in focus not only benefits those we serve, but also deepens our understanding of our own values. Take Mia, a nurse in a busy hospital in Los Angeles. During the pandemic, she faced immense stress and fatigue. However, instead of succumbing to burnout, she chose to channel her energy into serving her community. She organized free vaccination clinics for underserved populations, collaborating with local organizations to ensure accessibility. By doing so, Mia not only contributed to the health of her community, but also found renewed purpose and resilience in her own life. Her service became a source of strength, reinforcing her commitment to her calling as a healer. The Stoics believed that our actions should reflect our values, and service is a powerful way to embody those values. When we engage in acts of kindness, we reinforce our character and demonstrate our commitment to the greater good. As Marcus Aurelius noted, "What is not good for the hive is not good for the bee." This metaphor illustrates that our individual well-being is intertwined with the health of our community. To cultivate a spirit of service, start by identifying causes that resonate with you. What issues ignite your passion? Whether it's education, environmental sustainability, or social justice, find ways to get involved. Consider volunteering your time, skills, or resources to organizations that align with your values. You might be surprised by the fulfillment that comes from serving others. Additionally, service doesn't always have to be grand gestures. Small acts of kindness can have a profound impact. Hold the door open for someone, offer a listening ear to a friend in need, or mentor a colleague. Each act contributes to a culture of kindness and strengthens the bonds within your community. Reflect on your own life and the ways you currently serve others. Are there opportunities to deepen your involvement? Can you extend your virtues to those around you? Engaging in service not only benefits others, but also nourishes your own spirit, creating a positive feedback loop of kindness and compassion. The practice of service also reminds us that we are part of something larger than ourselves. In a world that often promotes individualism, the Stoics invite us to embrace our collective responsibility. As we contribute to the welfare of others, we cultivate a sense of belonging and interconnectedness that enriches our lives. In conclusion, the Stoic philosophy teaches us that serving others is a vital aspect of living a meaningful and virtuous life. By extending our virtues outward, we not only uplift our communities, but also discover a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. As you navigate your journey, remember that every act of service, no matter how small, contributes to the greater good. Embrace the circle of service and let your virtues shine brightly in the world around you. 10. The mirror of wisdom cultivates self-knowledge through reflection. As the sun begins to set over the skyline of Washington, D.C., Alex finds himself sitting quietly in his favorite park, notebook in hand. After a long week of meetings, deadlines, and social obligations, he knows it's time to pause and reflect. In a world that constantly demands our attention, Alex has learned the value of the Stoic practice of self-reflection, a tool that helps him cultivate self-knowledge and align his actions with his values. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most prominent Stoic philosophers, famously wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This insight emphasizes that our internal dialogue shapes our experiences and, ultimately, our happiness. By regularly examining our thoughts and behaviors, we gain clarity about our values, motivations, and areas for growth. Consider the story of Linda, a project manager in Los Angeles. After experiencing burnout from her demanding job, she decided to incorporate a weekly reflection practice into her routine. Each Sunday, she carved out time to review the past week. What went well, what challenges she faced, and how she reacted to various situations. This practice of self-examination allowed Linda to identify patterns in her behavior and recognize moments when she had strayed from her values of integrity and collaboration. Self-reflection is not merely an exercise in self-criticism. Rather, it is an opportunity for growth and learning. The Stoics believed that understanding ourselves is essential for cultivating virtue. As Seneca noted, to be everywhere is to be nowhere. When we don't take the time to reflect, we risk living on autopilot, reacting to life's challenges without thoughtful consideration of our responses. Take the example of Ryan, a high school teacher in Chicago. Frustrated by his students' disengagement, he initially blamed their lack of interest on the curriculum and external distractions. However, after adopting a practice of reflection, Ryan realized that he needed to adjust his teaching methods to better engage his students. By actively seeking feedback and reflecting on his lessons, he was able to create a more interactive classroom environment that fostered enthusiasm for learning. This shift not only improved his students' experience, but also rekindled his passion for teaching. Incorporating self-reflection into your daily routine can take various forms. Here are some practical strategies to get started. Journaling. Set aside a few minutes each day or week to write about your thoughts, feelings, and experiences. Journaling helps clarify your thoughts and allows you to track your personal growth over time. Ask yourself questions like, what did I learn this week? How did I handle challenging situations? What can I do differently moving forward? Meditation and mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness allows you to observe your thoughts without judgment. This awareness can reveal insights about your emotional responses and patterns in your thinking. Consider guided meditation apps or classes to help you get started. Regular check-ins. Schedule time for self-reflection in your calendar. Treat it as an important appointment. During these check-ins, assess your alignment with your values and goals. This practice fosters accountability and helps you stay focused on what truly matters. Seek feedback. Engage with trusted friends, family, or colleagues who can offer constructive feedback. Their perspectives can shed light on blind spots that you may not recognize in yourself. End-of-day reflections. Before going to bed, take a few moments to reflect on your day. What went well? What could have been improved? This nightly habit reinforces self-awareness and prepares you for tomorrow. The Stoics believed that self-knowledge is foundational to virtuous living. By understanding our strengths and weaknesses, we can make more informed choices and act in accordance with our values. As Marcus Aurelius advised, look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will bubble up if you will only dig. As you embark on your journey of self-reflection, remember that the goal is not perfection but growth. Embrace the process of learning about yourself, and be gentle with yourself as you navigate this path. The more you cultivate self-knowledge, the more equipped you will be to respond to life's challenges with wisdom and grace. In conclusion, the Stoic practice of self-reflection serves as a mirror to our souls, guiding us toward deeper self-awareness and personal growth. By regularly examining our thoughts and actions, we gain clarity about who we are and how we want to live. Embrace the mirror of wisdom and let it illuminate your path toward a more fulfilling and virtuous life. Your Stoic journey begins mastering the art of letting go. As we conclude this exploration of Stoic philosophy, it's important to reflect on the powerful principles we've discussed and how they can transform our lives in the modern world. From the discipline of control to the practice of presence, from embracing change to recognizing the wealth within, each Stoic lesson offers us a roadmap to navigate the complexities of life with grace and resilience. In an age where distractions abound and external pressures can feel overwhelming, the teachings of the Stoics remind us that we hold the keys to our own happiness and fulfillment. Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. This truth underscores the importance of mastering our responses to life's challenges, allowing us to cultivate an inner citadel of peace and strength. As you embark on your own Stoic journey, remember that the art of letting go is not about becoming emotionally detached or indifferent to life's beauty. Instead, it is about recognizing what truly matters and releasing the burdens of anxiety, external validation, and fear of change. By embracing the impermanence of life and understanding that every ending is a new beginning, you can navigate the ebb and flow of existence with confidence and serenity. Consider the stories of individuals like Emily, Jacob, and Mia who harness the power of Stoicism to transform their challenges into opportunities for growth. Their journeys remind us that we are not alone in our struggles. We all face obstacles that test our resilience and character. By applying Stoic principles, we can find strength in adversity and discover the richness of our inner lives. Incorporate these Stoic practices into your daily routine. Engage in self-reflection, cultivate gratitude, and extend your virtues to serve others. As you do so, you will not only enhance your own life but also create a ripple effect in your community, inspiring those around you to embrace the transformative power of Stoicism. As you continue on this path, we encourage you to stay connected with the Stoic Vivu community. Subscribe to our channel for more insightful content that brings ancient wisdom to contemporary life. Like and share this video with friends and family who may benefit from Stoic teachings, and together, let's foster a community committed to personal growth and resilience. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Take that step today by applying these principles in your life. Embrace the art of letting go, cultivate your inner riches, and live with intention and purpose. Your Stoic journey awaits, and the world is ready to witness the extraordinary transformations that unfold when you master the art of living authentically. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening exploration of Stoic philosophy. May you carry these lessons forward, finding peace amidst the chaos and strength in the face of adversity. Until next time, keep the spirit of Stoicism alive and let your inner light shine brightly.